Okay, so we're now in the tractor pooling garage at Ross Agri Services. We've got the remains of Diesel Ross, which was the very first tractor I built. It was built in 2010. It's based on a Fendt 612 LSA. When it was part of our contracting division, it was producing about 125 horsepower. Today, it'll be close on 850. So I'm Martin Ross, the Managing Director of Ross Agri Services Limited at St Cyrus. Today we're going to have a tour around the facility, having a little look about not only the tractors and machinery that we sell, but also an insight into a little bit on the engineering side to the business as well. This is where I spend my day-to-day running the business in here. Phone can be a bit mental at times, but this is where, from my point of view, where the bulk of it happens. Through here, we've got our stores department, parts department. So customers, general public, come in via the door entrance there. We've got a bit of everything in here for workwear, tools, agricultural parts. We try and cater for not only the farming side of things, but also the general public with some of the hardware, etc., on that front. Through the back here, we've got what we term as our back store. We've a lot of the more seasonal parts for agriculture. So we've got plough metal, cultivator parts, all our full range of Fendt parts for tractors going back to the early 80s right up to current day. We try and stock a variety of earthworm parts for not only the franchises that we sell ourselves, but for a range of ploughs and cultivators. Through to the next area here, we've got goods inwards. So all our parts guys, there's 3 guys working in the parts department. They deal with the parts coming in to the warehouse here. We've got hydraulic repair shop in here. A selection of hose and ends. We cover not only metric but BSP, BSPT, JIC, and we offer a one-stop shop again on this front regards to repairing hoses and also the production of new hoses. We do that not only for the agricultural side of things, but we also do some for the marine, the fishing industries in the area as well. And we try and cater for pretty much anything again that comes in. If we don't have the parts in stock for the hydraulic side of things, we've got our own machine shop, we can actually produce it for them, some fittings and ends. Through to the main agricultural workshop. So this is where we service and repair tractors and machinery. We've got 5 bays in here. We will take pretty much anything in here that's other than servicing, possibly major repairs or bigger repairs will come in here. Today we've got a 900 series tractor in that's in for a bit of service work. This one's got some forestry gardening stuff on it. It's used on a tree mulcher. 936, 360 horsepower. Running the new Nokian Ground King tyres. The customer thinks that these work quite well in the forestry application as well. 700 series here. We've got another 700 in for repair over here, and then we've got a bit of a historical Fendt here, a 500 series. This is a 1998 Fendt 512C. We've got a couple of liner seals gone on that one, so the guys are busy repairing that at the moment. We tend to cater from Fendt tractors away back from the 80s to current day, The older stuff, we do offer a reduced labour rate on the older stuff to try and allow us to get not only the parts but also the labour, keep the workshop guys kind of busy in the winter time when we maybe don't have so much of the more modern stuff in. This is our welding and fabrication department, and we've 4 welding fabricators full-time in here. We do a lot of stuff in-house here, but we also do some out on site. That can be general agricultural repairs, it can also be oil and gas, it can be shipping, it can be military, it can be electrical engineering. We've no product line as such in here as ourselves, so we're reliant on subcontract. But we will work with mild steel, aluminium and stainless. We've invested heavily in here in the last couple of years, so we've put in a new CNC plasma cutter, which will now accurately cut the steel to any shape we want. Much faster, there's no no requirement for deburring or removing slag because it's a nice clean cut. We've also invested in a 250-ton CNC press brake. The idea with that is, along with the CNC plasma, we can give the customer, the end user, a far better product, much more accurate, but also it's cheaper because we can actually produce it much, much faster. In here, we've got a selection of not only manual but also CNC machines, CNC machining centres, CNC lathes, manual machines. Again, we've no product line of our own in here, so we are reliant on subcontract. We deal with not only agriculture, oil and gas, bit of military, bomb disposal. We actually make moulds for rubber tracks for little vehicles that are supplied to the military. The idea in here is, again, this is to complement the welding and fabrication. They can produce a fabrication or a component, and then we can bring it through here to finish, machine it to the tolerances that's required for the end user, the customer of the drawings. What we've got in the yard round here, bit of a storage yard. We've got some of the machines that have just come back in for the harvest. We've got a new 30-foot Adco Superflow header. But one of the things that we've run this year slightly differently on the Fendt Ideal 9T demonstrator is a 41-foot McDon Superflow header. So what we've done there, it's a flex header. We've trying to get the best performance for the combine in regards to contour following. Obviously in this part of Scotland we've got a number of hills and mountains, so when you're combining that kind of stuff with a rigid table, you tend to find that you are potentially cutting off the heads at one point, and the other side of the header you're kind of burying it into the ground. So with these flex headers, it's the best of both worlds. So we've experimented with that, run that this harvest with great results. It's actually made the combine really perform well, certainly up against the competition. I think we've kind of got the perfect solution to this part of Scotland. This is back into the traditional bit of the facility. Some of you might be noticing that the building itself, a lot of the steel work that should be there is actually telegraph poles, but that is from my father's historical side of things, where he was a telephone engineer when he built the business up when he started. So the telegraph poles, the old telegraph poles, were available to allow us to put the sheds up in that front. So the CNC plasma we've got here, it's a Blue Marlin. We take all the information direct. We can program directly online at the machine, or we can take information from the drawn office, where we can take it direct from 3D SolidWorks straight to here, nesting program, and we can cut all the steel to various shapes. So today we've actually got it's actually one of our own vintage tractors in here. It was painted just only yesterday, so this is a 1950 Fendt F25. It's part of my eldest son Callum. It's his private collection. We will be showing this at the P&G Live event that we're doing in November. But the painting facility here, as I say, we will paint probably every week. We will have someone coming through the paint shop. We don't have a full-time painter, but it's one of these facilities that is becoming more popular. Every week we tend to find that there's someone wanting someone painted or as a requirement for ourselves. So through here we've got another additional workshop, but we also use this for assembling a lot of the toolboxes and stuff that we produce for the Fendt tractors. An example of some of these that are produced now, they've been painted and they're now waiting on final assembly. There's some rubber door seals, there's hinges, etc. to be put on. They're all labelled up, and then the parts department will wrap these up and they will be shipped. I think this particular shipment is actually heading for south of England, and there's another batch sitting there, and I think they're heading out to America. Through here we've now got our agricultural contracting side to the business. So this was the very first building my father built back in 1975, I think, was when he built this shed. We've got in here Ideal 9 Combine, which has just finished harvest. We're contracting division from this shed really, but we bring the tractors and equipment that we need seasonally here. When it's finished with, then we've actually got facilities off-site here that we store that in, just to allow a lot more space in here. We've also got a tractor pulling sledge here, so it's part of another company that I set up last year, Performance Sledging Limited. That sledge is the only silver rated sledge in the UK for tractor pulling. My hobby is tractor pulling, so I'm very passionate about what I do with it. We bought this sledge, as I say, from Germany last year. It's done one season and the team have done really well with it. We've had some fairly powerful tractors in the front of it, and the sledge has performed very well. The idea with it is to get to gold status in 2023, which will allow us then to run any events in the UK for Euro Cup or Euro Challenge. You know, we've got some improvements to make to the sledge over the winter. One of the things being obvious is that it's not a very appealing cab on it. The reasons for that: in Germany they had a very low bridge height, 4 meters I think it is. But we're going to put a conventional tractor cab onto there, give the operator a bit more or a better environment to be working in. One of the things we've probably want to point out in here, some of the contracting equipment, new Shelburne Reynolds hedge cutter, rear mount. We sell these also, but for us, historically, we've always run with hedge cutters on the front of the tractors. Purely because for the operator's point of view, it's much better when he's spending 4 or 5 months all winter cutting hedges, that it was much easier for the operator to sit at the front. But technology's moved on with these hedge cutters now, and you know, this is a forward reach version. So basically the head is sitting directly at the left hand window there, so it's much easier for him to see. It's done a season, did very well last year, operator loves it, so yeah. Quite keen, good machine. We've got a Katana 85, part of the contracting division also. We've had previous brands, but for an operator's point of view, the Fendt Katana is certainly for operator comfort in the cab. My guy will tell you is the best forager he's ever sat in. We've also got 6 metre Lemken drill on a Fendt 936, full RTK guidance. Again, this is sowing not only winter and spring crop. We'll sow oilseed rape, wheat, barley, and also we're putting on manure with that as well. So granular fertiliser goes down the spout with that as well. We historically used to run 4 metre drills, but we've moved on to 6. Just again, as the tractor horsepower and size has increased over the years, we've tried to keep up with that and gone to increase the size of the drills that's running on behind. That's really all the toys that's in this shed today, but we do have another facility here just to let you have a look at. So as I said, this building was put up around 5 years ago, predominantly to allow us the two-poster ramp for a bit of service work and prepping the vans, service vans and stuff for the MOTs. This is on the site of the old historical sheds that my mother and father bought back in the 70s. But we demolished those and we built this. We've also got in here a small range of Fendt tractors, some historical stuff. So this one's a 1975 Fendt Farmer 104S. We've also got a Fendt Farmer 312 LSA, and this is really the turning point for Ross Agri Services as a company. This particular model was the very first tractor that my father bought and was the start of the Fendt franchise for Ross Agri Services back in the mid-80s. As you can see, this one is a 1989 Fendt 312 LSA, front linkage and front PTO, all incorporated into the tractor, 40k transmission, electronic lift, 4 manual spool valves. The tractor next to it's a Fendt Fabric 512C, so basically same horsepower, but the next generation. This, again, front linkage, front PTO, but this took up to the road speed up to 50 kilometers an hour, front axle suspension. And we had the opportunity when the 500s came out initially, there was the opportunity to go bigger in horsepower, which we couldn't do with the 300. There was an opportunity to go a 514 and also a 515, which got us up to 150 horsepower. So this is a Fendt 724 Profi Plus. You'll notice today that there's no bonnet or side panels on it. The reason for that is that our 50th anniversary show in November, this particular tractor is getting a different look. It's being, the bonnet and side panels are being wrapped, and this tractor is being produced as a one-off anniversary special for Ross Agri Services. It will be for sale after the event in November, but we're going to make this one pretty special looking for the actual event. Okay, so we're now in the tractor pooling garage at Ross Agri Services. We've got the remains of Diesel Ross, which was the very first tractor I built. It was built in 2010. It's based on a Fendt 612 LSA. When it was part of our contracting division, it was producing about 125 horsepower. Today, it'll be close on 850. We've built it up over the years from someone that, well, probably was producing around 300 horsepower, and it was a new motorsport for myself. It's my passion, my hunger, and it's what I do at the weekends. And any spare time through the summer that I've got, I do all the spannering and all the work on it myself. I've got a team of not only family members, but friends of myself that help at the events and help preparing the tractor for the events. To my left here, this is a new tractor, a new build for ourselves. It's a second tractor we're going to run as the Diesel Ross pooling team. It will be a 3.6 ton Super Sport. As far as I know, it will be the first one in the UK. This one will be a component tractor. So basically the engine and the bonnet will be Fendt. The remainder of the tractor can be built up with anything you want. So for example, in this one, we're running a lorry back axle and differential with planetary final drives. The gearbox is a component gearbox where it's not from anything. It's built purposely for tractor pooling. It's built in Holland. You tell them the gear ratios you want, they will produce the gearbox to suit. So this is hopefully going to hit the track in 2023. The engine at the moment, we're just currently finishing off, and then we will get that set in place. couple everything up, and yeah, we're hopeful that we'll be out with the tractor in the 2023 season, probably towards the end. It won't be at the start. So what we've got here is our display yard, just a selection of some second-hand tractors, some new equipment, demo kit that's been that we've got available to the customer base that we've got today. We currently at the moment kind of down on stock just because of the length of lead time that we're getting for all the manufacturers. But you know, we will be retailing tractors, second-hand tractors, you know, with 10,000 plus hours on them. You know, one of the things that as a company we don't do is send everything away to the trade once it gets to a certain age in hours. We're very confident and very passionate about selling second-hand Fendts back into patch. Even with 10,000 plus hours, they will go out with a 12-month warranty on them. It's something that, you know, we are very passionate about in regards to how we bring them in. Second-hand into the workshop, we go through them with a fine tooth comb, and we believe that we've you know, prepared them to a level where they're certainly not as good as they were when they're new, because that's impossible, but as good as we possibly can. So, you know, we don't scrimp and save on any of the components that we're fitting on. If there's something broken, damaged or not right, it will be swapped out, we will change it, and that's what gives us the confidence to sell these tractors at that kind of age and hours with, you know, as I say, 12 months warranty. Some of the lower houred ones, you know, 5,000–6,000 hour machines, we're more than comfortable to be selling those with a 2 or a 3 year warranty, not a problem.